₹900 crore. That's how much all IPL teams spent last year in acquiring new players. This is the thrilling world of IPL auctions, a place where strategy, finance, and cricketing wisdom collide. Today we are diving into everything you need to know before the gavel hits the table, and get ready for an inside look at the game behind the game. First up, team budgets. Each team enters the auction with a purse, a fixed amount which they can spend on players. Now, while other sports and tournaments do not impose a budgetary limit, this was done in IPL to level the playing field for all teams. The purse limit has slowly increased over the years, starting out with just 20 crores in 2008 and now increased to a whopping 100 crores in 2024. One interesting thing to note is that the purse limit is affected by the player retention and releases. The more players a team retains from last year, the less they have in their purse to spend. Speaking of retentions and releases, teams can retain a limited number of players before the auction. Retaining means keeping some of their star players without releasing them, that is, letting them go into the auction pool. Releasing and retention decisions usually take place several days before the auction. And there's also a very careful play of strategy which comes here. Retaining the players means that they'd have to pay the same amount of money they bid for the players the previous season, but releasing those players means that their wallet is freed up and they can get maybe a couple of more players at the same price, or even the released player at a cheaper price. Now, speaking of prices, each released player or a newcomer has to enroll into the auction beforehand and set their base price, which depends on their popularity, demand, and experience. Players are put into three categories: capped players who have represented their national team before, second, uncapped players who have mostly played domestic cricket, and third, foreign players. Every franchise squad needs to have a minimum of 18 players and a maximum of 25 players, out of which only 8 foreign players are allowed. Once everything is set in stone, the bidding war begins, with all teams, their owners, strategists, and analysts on desks. The auction proceeds in the sets of batsmen, bowlers, and all-rounders for each category, and a player is picked randomly each round. Now, there is always a designated bidder for each table who would raise the paddle, and the bids increase in controlled increments of 5, 10, or 20 lakhs and so on, depending on the ongoing price. During this process, each franchise's management is at their toes with plans and contingencies in case they don't get their favorite player. But sometimes things do get out of hand, and the bidding war just doesn't stop that easily, creating records each year for the most expensive player. Fun fact, MS Dhoni was the most expensive player in the first ever 2008 IPL auctions for 9.5 crores. And most recently, Sam Curran was the most expensive player in the 2022 IPL auctions for a whopping 18.5 crores, which is an absolute 2x in 14 years. The IPL auction is a spectacle of strategy, finance, and cricketing excitement. It's where fortunes are made, dreams are realized, and teams are built. As we gear up for the next auction for the 2024 season, the only question remains: who do you think will be this year's most expensive player? Well, do let us know in the comment section down below. And for more screeners like these, subscribe to the official Hitwicket YouTube channel.